the Jewish calendar. We've, for those who've joined us the last few Tuesdays, the Jewish calendar is sometimes throws us a curveball, sometimes throws us a gift, and it just so happened that when we planned these, here we're going live now. When we planned these healing services, we planned so on just being on a Tuesday. Not really thinking so much about it other than the convenience of Tuesday being good for me and my family schedule. But as we progress into this space that we've created, it's become therapeutic that we haven't missed one. On one end, it seems a little extreme to have a healing service that we used to have on a monthly or even every other month basis, and then suddenly transformed to a weekly. But each of our Tuesdays has taken on a different flavor in that the holidays, we just talked about Passover a few weeks ago, and that journey and trying to be together virtually, and all the healing that we need during a time when we really need to be together in person. Then we had Yom HaShoah last week, as we recalled all those who perished in the Holocaust. And then we have today, Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut, which begins tonight. And this is a strange world in Israel where we celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut following the Memorial Day. They are back to back. There's no space in between. It's all those emotions all wrapped in one, which is, I think, empowering to know that we can't have independence without sacrifice, that we can't have celebration without a little grunt work to get there as a people. And through those struggles, we lost loved ones through war, through terror attacks. And so we can't really celebrate without understanding where we've come from. And that's all in the course of 2 days. So what I was going to do today, and I'm going to share this onto Facebook for those who are following there. We're having trouble syncing up again. So what I'll do is I'm going to share some of the things that we're sharing on Zoom, so you can see them. But I'll share my screen a few times so we can follow along with our service. Our main juxt of our service is from our healing packet that we've been using throughout. This is, here we go, share that. Let's go into Facebook. But we always add in our own melodies, new melodies, and reflections on these moments that we are creating. So the first thing that I want to sing before we enter into the space is a poem, Lifgot Lecha. I can even share, I'll share the screen so we can read the words. And it was a song written by Aviv Geffen in the early 90s, following the car crash that killed one of his friends. And Aviv Geffen and this friend used to play music together. But then over time, it really became an anthem for young soldiers who had premature deaths. And so on Yom HaZikaron, as we remember all the fallen, it becomes sort of an anthem for the day. So I'll share on Zoom. You can see what I'm talking about here. And there is the share on. And we actually brought this into our Yizkor service. And So I think it also speaks to any time we lose a loved one, someone close. It doesn't have to be a parent or a spouse or a sibling, but really anyone that we feel close to, that we long for them. אני הולך, תכל לך תהיה חזק למעלה. יאי יואי, תלמוד אותו שנפתחות בלילה. לנצח אחי, אזכור אותך תמיד, וניפגש בסוף, אתה יודע. ויש לך חברים, אבל גם הם קווים, אל מול אורך המשגע. שעצובים הולכים לים, לכן הים מלוח. וזה עצוב, שלחזית ציוד אפשר לא נגוע. לנצח אחי, אזכור אותך תמיד, וניפגש בסוף, אתה יודע. ויש לי חברים, אבל גם הם קווים, אל מול אורך המשגע. וכמו הגלים אנחנו מנפצים אל המזח, אל החיים. וכמו הגלים אנחנו מנפצים אל המזח, אל החיים. אני הולך, לכל לך תהיה חזק למעלה. And throughout, we'll be sharing, again, reflections on Yom HaZikaron, on this Memorial Day for Israel. And we'll also be doing so under the rubric of Havdalah. There was a beautiful ritual that I was reading this morning. Havdalah, it means separation. And this is sort of a difficult, again, transition between the highs and lows of Israel's existence. And as we think about this in the context of our healing service, that we go up and down, up and down, up and down, even if you're just scrolling through your Facebook of all the highs and lows of those around us who are experiencing pain, who are experiencing joy, and even we ourselves can experience those emotions within a second of each other. And so it makes sense that we would need sort of this separation to get us from one place to the next. So I wanted to read a poem which is taken from, where'd it go? There we go. An ancient poem, L'kol zman ve'ed kol chepetz tachat hashamayim. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heavens. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. We'll join together as we sing our opening prayer that we often sing in our space. And prayer is, we are loved. And no matter what is going on in our world, the chaos, that we have to remind ourselves that we are loved by others, and sometimes more importantly, even by ourselves. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even when in the midst of the fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too embittered for meeting. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. Page turn, embrace, touch, soothe, and counsel. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. And we take the words whenever we're looking for strength. We look to the Psalms with all their infinite wisdom to find the right verse, the right song that connects with us. And so I will say that I did post earlier for those who saw on Facebook that I took from the Psalms, from the Proverbs. Sometimes we have our own prayers, and we interchange those with prayers of our traditions. And so I've been working on a piece for a few months now, which it was in collaboration with a soldier in the IDF, exceptional, positive, funny individual who brings a lot of positive energy to his unit, but also having some physical limitations, really is an advocate for inclusion, for equality, and for accessibility. And so I wrote a melody. You can watch afterwards on Facebook to hear a little draft of it. Taking the line we'll sing shortly, Hine Matav U'Mana'im, that sometimes all we want to do is be together. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, to sit together as brothers and sisters. But to do so, it'll be a little while in person, and so we look for strength. Hence our prayer from Psalm 59, Ba'ani Ashir Uzecha. Ba'ani Ashir Uzecha, Ve'aranim Baboker Chastecha, Ki Hayita Miskali Umanos Liom Sarli. Ba'ani Ashir Uzecha, Ve'aranim Baboker Chastecha, Ki Hayita Miskali Umanos Liom Sarli. Uzi Eilecha Azamera, Azamera. Uzi Eilecha Azamera, Azamera. Uzi Eilecha ישירו זכה, לערנים בבוקר חסדך, כי היית משכלי ומנוס ליום צר לי. ואני אשירו זכה, לערנים בבוקר חסדך, כי היית משכלי ומנוס ליום צר לי. As we set some times to find that extra moment after each song, each melody, to remind ourselves to breathe, to be in that moment rather than to rush out into the next. So we open up our official healing service with the words Adonai Svatai Tiftachu Fi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that I might speak your praise. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Yagi Tilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Yagi Tilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. And we say how good it is to be here together with all of you virtually, on Facebook, on Zoom. Say hine matovu manaim. Hine matovu manaim, shevet zachim gam yachad. Hine matovu manaim, shevet zachim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet zachim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet zachim gam yachad. Hine matovu manaim, shevet zachim gam yachad. Hine matovu manaim, shevet zachim gam yachad. And so we have a little intention, a little kavanah before we enter. And again, I wanted to share for those following on Zoom, and I'll try to share our thing as well here. Hopefully we can make it work. And I'll be sharing this on Facebook, on my feed, so you can follow along. This is one of the supplements that we're looking at today. It's again, a Havdalah, that we have a time to mourn and a time to dance. And it reminds me of the period of Shiva. When it comes to the close, we remark Hazorim Bedima, the Rina Yiktsoru, that we shall sow in tears, but then we can also reap in songs of joy. And so we have this back and forth of knowing that we are suffering, we're in need of healing, but then also there are moments in our lives, some far off in the future, some right around the corner where we can Rina Yiktsoru, where we can reap in songs of joy. And so on this Yom HaZikaron, I wanted to reflect for a moment on all those who, please disregard the fact that I'm scrolling through this on so I can find what I was looking at. So we have a poem by Yehuda Amichai, the great Israeli poet, who says, "A man doesn't have time in his life to have time for everything. He doesn't have seasons enough to have a season for every purpose. Ecclesiastes was wrong about that. A man needs to love and to hate at the same moment, to laugh and cry with the same eyes, with the same hands to throw stones and to gather them, to make love and war in love, and to hate and forgive and remember and forget, to arrange and confuse, to eat and to digest what history takes years and years to do. A man doesn't have time. When he loses, he seeks. When he finds, he forgets. When he forgets, he loves. When he loves, he begins to forget. And his soul is seasoned, his soul is very professional. Only his body remains forever an amateur. It tries and it misses, gets muddled, and doesn't learn a thing, drunk and blind in its pleasures and its pains. He will die as figs die in autumn, shriveled and full of himself and sweet, the leaves growing dry on the ground, the bare branches pointing to the place where there's time for everything." And so during this period where we're trying to fit everything that we can do, all these people have all the time in the world to learn all these new tricks, all these new things, that we also have to realize that we don't have time for everything, that we can only control certain things in our lives, but then to find a little bit of space, whether it's today on a Tuesday afternoon or Shabbat, but to find a sacred moment to connect in some way, spiritually, or just connecting with others that we love. So we ask you, sacred presence, to suffuse our spirits, to open our hearts and minds to the source of all, so that our hearts may heal, our minds may mend, and our souls may be serene. May we, on our journey towards wholeness, be partners with you, source of blessing, and in helping each other, help heal creation by discovering you in every moment. We have moments to give thanks to God for all the little things. And the first is the gift of the body, that our body works in wondrous ways. Praised are you who with the wisdom fashioned the human body, creating openings, arteries, glands, and organs, marvelous in structure, intricate in design. Should but one of them, by being blocked or open, fail to function, it would be impossible to exist. Praised are you, healer of all flesh, who sustains our bodies in wondrous ways. Baruch atah Adonai, rofech kol basar umafli la'asot. And just as we are thankful for the ability to have God in our lives, and that's why we're talking and having that conversation, asking God for healing, we also know that connection that God breathed a soul into us, and so we should be thankful for that ability to have the gift of the soul. O God, you are a consolation to your creatures. For moments of forgetting, we but call to mind your care, and we are comforted. When we hope no more, a pattern in the sand reminds us of your love. Your dawns give us confidence, and sleep is a friend. Our sorrows dissipate in the presence of an infant's smile, and old men's words revive our will to wish. Your hints are everywhere, your signals in the most remote of places. You are here. We fail words to say, Ma Tov, how good our breath, our rushing energies, our silences of love. And we sing Elohai Neshama Shenatata Bi Tahora Hi. God, the soul you breathed in me is pure. Elohai Neshama Shenatata Bi Tehorai. Elohai Neshama Shenatata Bi Tehorai. Elohai Neshama Shenatata Bi Tehorai. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorai. 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 So we've given thanks for our bodies, for our souls, and now we give thanks for the everyday miracles that surround us. Modim anachnu lach. We acknowledge that you, Adonai, are our God and have been God of our ancestors throughout all time. You are the rock of our lives, our shield and our protector. We thank you for our lives that are in your hands, for our souls that are in your charge, for your miracles that daily attend us, and for your wonders and gifts that sustain us. Evening, morning, and afternoon, you are good. Your mercy is everlasting. You are compassionate. Your kindness is never ending. We place our hope in you, source of blessing, Adonai, our God. You are the essence of goodness. It is good to thank you. So we'll just give me 1 second as we figure out, I think actually, to go to take myself off of Wi-Fi. And hopefully that is now better. So we are back on Facebook as the internet is awful in my office. And speaking of awful, we have the opposite of awful. We have angels in our lives. B'Shem Hashem is our melody that we sing at nighttime. It gets us in the mood to lie down in peace. And its images are of the angels on all sides. Mimini, on my right side, Michael, the angel Michael. Umismoli, on my left, Gavriel. And Milfanai, before me, Uriel, my light. Umachorai, Raphael, behind me, Raphael, my healing. So we have Michael, who is like God, Gavriel, my strength, my God, Uriel, my light, and my healing, Raphael. And Al Roshi upon my head, Shechinat El, the presence of God. So we think about all the angels in our lives who bring us those elements that we are looking for: strength, light, healing, godliness. And maybe those angels are figurative. Maybe they are angels on high, and maybe they're angels who are loved ones we've lost who watch over us, and maybe they are the loved ones who are here who protect us and make sure that we are okay, and maybe we can be those angels for others. So we sing B'Shem Hashem. B'Shem Hashem Elohei Yisrael Mimini Michael Umismoli Gabriel Umilfanai Uriel Umeachorai Raphael Ve'al Rashi Ve'al Rashi Shechinat El B'Shem Hashem Elohei Yisrael Mimini Michael Umismoli Gabriel Al Roshi Ve'al Roshi Shechinatel. And we turn to the next page, and we have this this line from the Psalm 122, that we should have peace within our walls, serenity within our palaces. That we are all living different lives now in quarantine, either through our own health issues or mental health concerns. We've lost loved ones. They're no longer with us. And so whatever space we started with, we're not the same. Our spaces that we might have treated as palaces are a little run down. Our energy is run down. Our patience is run down. And so our service for healing is not just to call out to God and cry out for whatever we need, but it's also to look inward and the things that we can do to create a little extra serenity and peace in our own homes in whatever way possible. Yehi shalom becheilet shalva v'yarminotai. 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 May there be peace within your walls, serenity within your palaces. For the sake of my kin and my companions, I wish that peace be with you. For the sake of the house of Hashem, I will seek your good. So it's at this time that we have a moment of silence, that we close our eyes and we think of loved ones who are in need of healing, loved ones who are here with us, loved ones who are here in spirit. Healing for ourselves in difficult times, healing for our community, healing for our world. And as we close our eyes, we think of all those in our midst who are in need. And we'll come back together momentarily, and we sing the Shema, that we ask God to listen, to affirm that our prayers have been heard, that we are in conversation so that healing can happen. So we'll just take a few moments for introspection, and we'll come back in a minute. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Listen, O Israel, Adonai, our God, Adonai is one. And so today I mentioned that we are thinking of not only those in our midst, as we do every Tuesday, but we're also thinking of healing of the world, and especially in Israel, as we recall loved ones and our extended family. And so I wanted to include a prayer for wholeness and for peace for Yom HaZikaron, Israel's Memorial Day. When peace comes, when the tunnels are gone and the walls come down, when we sing together as brothers and sisters, we will remember these days of sorrow and grief, of rockets and terror, of longing and despair, as a memorial to those who were lost, as a remembrance of our mourning, as our monument to our yearning, on the road to wholeness, on the road to wisdom, on the road to our days of rejoicing. O children of Abraham, your sons and daughters of Sarah and Hagar, what will you become? How long before shalom and salam echo in these hills, in these valleys and on these shores? The shouts of awe and amazement, how long before we remember to hold each other dear? One God, maker of all, banish war from our midst, speedily bring forth justice, understanding, and love. Bind these wounds and heal our hearts. On that day, the children of Ishmael and the children of Isaac will dance as one. Joy will rise to heaven, and gladness will fill the earth. So we always add in the names of our loved ones. So if you have a name at this time, we can also add those into the chat on the side. As today we are thinking of Yisrael ben Blima, Shlomo ben Michael ben Bracha, Menashe ben Penina, Shena Babatya, Avram ben Esther, Sar Simcha bat Chana, Michael ben Yetta, Yitorachel bat Sarah Leah, Yitzhak ben Fega, Sharon bat Esther, Baruch ben Yehudit, Leah bat Miriam, Leavigal bat Neshama, Tzadik ben Avram, Shmuel Reuben ben Matya, Moshe ben Rachel, Shoshana Rivka bat Michal Sarah, Devorah Sarah bat Shara Korn Shur, Vega Leah bat Batsheva, Penina bat Rivka, Devorah Miriam bat Sarah, Shalom ben Leah, Rivka bat Leah, Chaim ben Rivka, Zahava, Elianessa bat Esther Yosefa, Moshe ben Minna, Yosef ben Mindel, Leah bat Chava, Shoshana bat Rezela, Eliezer ben Shendel, Moshe ben Rachel, Shir bat Mayim, Reuven ben Chana, Ephraim ben Lev, Jennifer Abadi, Adele Flate Blacko, Lawrence Backo, Vera Benjamin, Stephen Cantor, Alan Shepnick, Alex Diener, Cynthia Disher, Elliot Dribbin, Paula Garfinkel, Marvin Gilman, Eric Held, Aaron Hoden, Morris Jelks, Gloria Jones, Joanne Kagan, Bill Kite, Debbie King, Jerry Lindsay, Thurston Martin, Susan Needle, Dina Pargman, Stephen Paul, Buddy Pollock, Skip Graham, Joseph Ribnick, Harry Rittenberg, Eric Roseman, Arthur Rosenblum, Larry Rosenblum, Joseph Rubin, Arnold Murray Schwartz, Mira Shamash, Loretta Shapiro, Aaliyah Spector, Charles Soule, Jennifer Van Diver, Devorah Wersansky, Barbara Uden, Mara Uden, wounded soldiers and veterans, those injured in attacks of terror in Israel around the world, victims of gun violence here in the U.S., those infected by the coronavirus, those dealing with mental health issues in quarantine, and all those who are in need of healing. We say Rufu Ashlema, a speedy recovery for all who are in need. As we return to our space, we have a few songs of healing that we like to sing in this space. The first we'll do is Debbie Freeman's Misha Berach, as we look for renewal of spirit and renewal of body during these difficult times. Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Animoteinu, may the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Beirach Imoteinu Nekor HaBracha the snows in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the also have a, before we go to our other prayers of healing, we understand the role that caregivers play in this pandemic. Caregivers always have that extra load to carry in taking care of a loved one or a friend, or if it's your profession, that they become part of you. And I know that there's an extra weight with medical professionals who are taking that extra risk by going into the front lines. And there are a lot of us who are on the front lines risking our own health so that others can be comforted and can be taken care of. And so we always add in a caregiver prayer during healing service, but also especially during these times, all those who are going above and beyond what we ever thought was needed, but they do so with love and with devotion. Show me how to offer hope. Open your hands with the colors of faith, that I might begin to fill in spaces to strengthen another's life. Show me how to offer comfort. Point out your nesting place, feathered against adversities that wound those I love. Show me the direction when I am lost, searching to help but finding no paths. Show me tolerance when I weary of helping, and a long dreary day stretches toward a restless night. You place before us life and love. Show us endurance. You place before us healing and hope. Show us persistence. Reach deep within me eternal strength, and bring my strength to consciousness. Pull it around us. Let it radiate with your power. Let it guide our way. And the other prayer we have for healing is a cry that Moses shouted out when his sister was inflicted with a disease. And when she was stricken, he shouted out, El na rafana la. God, please heal, please her. And we have that double na, a double please. We have that command, Rafa, heal. I demand. And that there are times that we feel like shouting out to God. We have times that we want to talk to God in a more formal way. And all those are fair game. Having a conversation, just like we talk with our loved ones, there's times when we need to shout out. There's times when we feel like we need to be a little softer tone, a little sweeter tone. And so when we talk about asking for healing, there is no one way to talk to God. And so the same too with how we should ask for healing during these times. So our refrain is El na rafana lanu. God, please heal her, heal us. El na rafana lanu. El na rafana lanu. Dear God of our ancestors, dear God of our ancestors, help us renew our faith, help us renew our faith. Grant us a perfect healing, grant us a perfect healing. Bring peace to all our days, bring peace to all our days. El na rifana lanu. El na rifana lanu. Restore our strength of body, restore our strength of body. Help clarify our minds, help clarify our minds. Refresh our tired spirits, refresh our tired spirits. Rejuvenate our light, rejuvenate our light. El na rifana lanu. El na rifana lanu. Thank you for all these blessings. Thank you for all these blessings. Throughout our days and nights, throughout our days and nights, we celebrate the journey. We celebrate the journey. This precious gift of life. This precious gift of life. El na refanala, refanala nu. El na refanala, refanala nu. El na refanala, refanala nu. In a moment, we'll conclude with the singing of Oseh Shalom, a prayer for peace, peace again in our closed quarters, but also peace knowing that there's a big world that's suffering out there. And the same root of shalom, of peace, is shalem, shlemut, meaning wholeness, that we search for even amidst this brokenness, that we search for wholeness, for putting the world back together as much as we can, to appreciate the gifts that we have. As Yehuda Amichai in his poem referenced, that sometimes we are experiencing chaos. We are experiencing highs and lows from one fleeting moment to the next. And how we live in those moments of chaos, where we appreciate the good even when we have suffering going on in our lives. Appreciate all the good that makes us feel that pain. That without that good in our lives, maybe it's good that we are looking for, or good that we've lost. We wouldn't have that pain. But also wouldn't have that good either if those people and those experiences weren't a part of us. And so my prayer for the week ahead is that we find ways of grappling with this duality of life, of the ups and downs, of the flows of positives and negatives, that we look for more positive, but even amidst the negative, that we can find love, we can find connection, and we can find hope. Just as we transition from Yom HaZikaron to Yom HaAtzmaut, from sadness to rejoicing, so too I hope that in our healing we also are healed in some ways, however small, in the week ahead. And for those still following on Facebook, hopefully when I press finish, the video will not be as sucky as the as the feed was today. We'll figure it out for next week. But I appreciate all our Zoomers who've made it through unscathed. It sounds so. It sounded fine and it worked fine on Zoom. So we're again to celebrate the wins in life. Oseh Shalom Mimroma, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Mimroma, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. May the one who brings peace to the universe, bring peace and wholeness to us, to all the people Israel and all the people of the world. So in a moment, I'll unmute us on Zoom so we can share in well wishes for the week ahead. Next week we are again on Tuesday, just our regular healing service. No special insertions to my knowledge. In 2 weeks from now, May 12th is Lag BaOmer. We are right now in the period of the Omer where we reflect and get ready to receive the Torah and Mount Sinai on Shavuot. So these 7 weeks between between Passover, the second day of Passover, and Shavuot, we are journeying. We're on a slow journey to freedom. And so because we are in this moment of introspection, we don't often have a lot of celebrations. Lag BaOmer is one of the exceptions to that. Yom HaAtzmaut is an exception to that. And so Lag BaOmer in 2 weeks' time we'll do sort of the opposite of what we did a few weeks ago. We had Yizkor into healing service. We're going to do healing service into a virtual campfire sing down. So we'll again, for those who kind of feel sometimes that our healing service is a little heavy, hopefully we'll have the levity of singing together, hearing other voices from our community, lending their melodies and their stories as well. So I look forward to that in 2 weeks' time. But we're gonna finish on Facebook. We'll see what happens there. God knows. I'll pray for healing of my Wi-Fi. And looks like we, whoop, hopefully that worked. And we're back onto Zoom. I can hear you all. We'll stop share and we'll unmute to say hello. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Oz.
How's everyone holding up?
It's nice to have a conversation. It's nice to have a conversation with faces. Oh my God.
Again, the small things in life, right?
Yeah.
This is Buster.
Okay, who has the dog? The dog's cute.
That's why I muted.
It was
My dog is on the floor behind me.
Yeah, ours was barking up until the unmute.
Oh, perfect.
Right? Hey,
That's a well-trained dog.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I wish.
Oh, man. Thank you for leading these services, though. They're very special. Thank you.
Thanks for always being a part.
Oh, there she goes.
Mhm.
So again, we'll see each other. Always welcome to all, and for those who don't know, Beth, is it every week on Wednesdays at 3? You're on. Yes, you're here.
She muted herself.
All right. Well,
Must have been her dog that was barking.
but
Yes, every
yes,
week for now.
every week now. Elaine knows. I know she was on before, but she Elaine Hans.
What is every week on Wednesday?
Sorry. So every week on Wednesday at 3 o'clock is a coping with loss for those who are grieving, short term, long term. We have whatever your if that's an extra space that you might need. That's something that Beth is offering 3 o'clock. I think it's in our on our virtual website, jacksjewiscenter.org/virtual. But yeah, I know I saw Elaine Hodds on before, so she might also benefit from that space. But I'll be signing off. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.